snippets of humour, lifted their faces to the dawn light when it came. All alive. A few injuries. A few marks of Surjuzi taint among the Erith. All could be healed. No losses among the warriors to add to the pile of dead Arrow carried with her. It was a minor relief. That battle was done. Trouble was already gathering. The peace between warriors was gone. The Erith had reported back to the Taellaneth, the heart of Erith government, and the Taellaneth had reacted by sending 2 fresh cadres of White Guard along with the Preceptor, the Erith's authority in all things magical, and a gaggle of dark-robed magicians. The ordinary human-made road had become extraordinary. Bounded on each side by a mix of high human-made fences, stone walls and dense hedges, the road was empty of humans at this hour. The road wound through a high-status residential estate, the fences, walls and hedges, bounding enormous gardens with equally grand human houses screened from view by mature trees. It was an arrangement the Erith would recognise. This particular wall, the one attention was focused on, bounded one side of the grounds that held what had been the Hessman residence. A human name with a bitter history with the Erith. This was the second time that a Hessman had been involved in trying to harm the Erith. Arrow did not think the Erith would allow a third attempt. It was underneath the Hessman residence that they had found the underground space, saturated with unclean magic. With the arrival of more Erith, their sleek black vehicles as out of place as the Erith themselves in this quiet street, the Shifkin had withdrawn at a leisurely pace, settling around their own vehicles. Just out of earshot, but not out of sight. Letting the Erith have the scene, just now. The fresh White Guard were more interested in keeping an eye on the kin than on the underground space, or the magicians they had been sent here to watch. More than one of the new warriors betrayed their unease by sparks of amber in their eyes, knuckles white on weapon hilts, shoulders set. The warriors were still doing their duty. Unlike the others, Arrow eyed the babbling magicians with disfavour. They were terrified of Surjuzi. Not hard to understand why, as the demons had a great fondness for draining down Erith magic, leaving bodies in their wake, or infecting Erith with demon taint that could quickly spread. However, the Surjuzi was gone. All the bodies in the underground were entirely human. She was quite sure, because she had banished the Surjuzi and killed its human host. And the magicians were still too frightened to go near the doorway. Arrow had little patience for them. She had endured what was sure to be the first of many rounds of questions, the Preceptor openly scornful of the idea that Surimok would be here. In the human lands. In Lix, a city. The creatures favoured the Erith's frozen lands and disliked company. He had been only fractionally less dismissive of Arrow's suggestion that the hunt was not over, that there were more involved in the conspiracy that had called Surjuzi into the human world, using forbidden magic to do so. Not accepting. Far from it. But not as openly scornful. The questions were over for now. Arrow was not wanted. For now. So she was standing a little apart from them all, the space around her probably partly due to the smell, which Erith noses would detect more keenly than hers, but mostly due to the impure heritage she carried, which was evident in her rounder face, the freckles across her skin, and the silver sparks in her grey eyes. Sparks that told anyone looking at her that she was a magician, and not Erith. Erith magic was amber. Always. For a moment she leant back against the stone wall, cold damp seeping through layers of clothing. The wall was high enough to let her tip her head back against it. She closed her eyes for a heartbeat and imagined herself elsewhere.